Okay, so you're into recycling. I know we all are, but you know what? Before you throw this into the recycle bin, I have a great idea for you to turn it into this adorable little holiday. I don't know, it could be a tabletop, it could be a little decor, it could be functional. You could actually put your silverware in it or candles or whatever, but I think it's so adorable. It has a little bit of a country charm to it, and I'm going to show you how to make it. Super, super simple. So, first thing you want to do is save your tin cans. Then what you want to do is you want to kind of find out where the seam is, which is, right about here, okay? And then what you want to do is kind of smash it down a little bit because you want it to be angled just like that, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to poke some holes in the side, and you just simply take an awl or put a block of wood in there and punch a hole in it. This is going to be to hold the baling wire. After you press it down like that and punch the holes in it, then you're going to paint it. Now I just used some acrylic paint here, and I kind of wanted, it's actually called Antique Mum. It's just a really antique-y color, and I went ahead and painted the can. Now notice I only painted the center because I'm going to cover the bottom and the top with some really pretty paper. But before I do that, I'm going to antique this just a little bit. And the way you do that is with a dry brush. Now this is, it's a dauber, and it's got some, it's a dry dauber. It's got some antiquing medium in it. I'll just pour it out just like that, okay? Just need a little tiny bit. And you're going to use a dry brush technique in order to get that look that I'm after, okay? So see, my brush is dry and it's kind of stiff. I just want oh my gosh, that's almost too much. Just a little bit on your brush. I'm going to do this. No rhyme or reason. Oops, too much, don't want that. Okay. This takes a few minutes to dry because it's a non-porous surface. Maybe even a bigger dry sponge brush would be a better idea, but I think in this case, less is better. I want it to look kind of old and beat up. Okay. So I'm going to let that dry for a second, and then what you want to do is take some really pretty Christmas paper. Now here's what I've done. I've used Christmas paper. This is actually scrapbooking paper, and then I've used some scrapbooking embellishments, and this is part of the let's see, it's Making Memories line, and it's called Fa La La. So if you kind of stick with an entire line where your papers and all of your embellishments are all by the same group, the same manufacturer, then you know that everything is going to match perfectly. And you know what? That's a great way to do it, but if you already have scrapbooking paper and you already have Christmas embellishments, you know what? Who cares? I mean, you can use anything you want to use. Okay, so basically, we're going to use two pieces of paper. The first one, I tore. You want a straight edge, and then you're just going to tear it. Okay? You're going to want to cut that strip off, by the way, because you want to end up with a strip that looks like this. See, and this is double-sided paper, so you can use either side, whatever pattern you want to use, okay? You're going to use one of those. And then with this, we did kind of a scalloped edge. And I used the other straight edge, and I just took, a little, you're going to want to cut this off so it's straight, but I'll show you here. You do a straight edge, and I just took a little bottle, and I drew out a little scalloped edge. None of them even match very well. Some of them are big, some of them are small. Draw that out, and then cut it out, and that's what I have here. See how cute that is? So cute. Okay, now, some little glue. All you have to do is glue it around the bottom. And you can use a glue gun. I'm just going to use some Elmer's glue. And I'm going to start with the, I think the jagged edge. No, you know what I'm going to do? Because here's what we have over here. We have the jagged edge on the bottom, and on this one, the scalloped edge on top. I want each one of my containers to be different. So on this one, I'm going to put the scalloped edge on the bottom. You just go like this. And it will wrap all the way around your can. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and snip that off. Put a little glue. On this one, a glue gun works great because you don't have to touch it if you don't want to. Okay, go ahead and clean that off. It's going to dry clear anyway. Okay, now we have the bottom of our can. Now I'm just going to do the top. And before I do that, I want to do something else. I want to add a little bit of a antiquing edge. So I'm going to use my dry brush again. And I'm just going to kind of dull that white edge right there. Just kind of give it that antique-y look. Here we go. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, now comes the rest. And you know, it's important to have that straight edge because it fits up against the edge of your can really nice. The only thing you're going to need to do is poke a hole in the paper to make room for your holes again. Okay, so I'm going to snip that off right here. Give it a little more glue. Okay, that's all right. Wipe that off. There we go. Okay, now comes the fun part. We get to embellish. I love embellishing. Love, love, love embellishing. This is the fun part. This is where you get to decorate. Now, if you're doing a whole bunch of these, then, you know, I would get like this little production line going where you, first of all, punch all the holes, smash the can, paint the can, do them all at the same time, so you're not going back and forth, back and forth. Okay, so we have our little design here, and before things, actually I'm gonna let that dry a little bit more, and then I'm just gonna repunch my holes where my paper is. So I'm using these two little embellishments here for our can, and I'm just gonna, you know what, I'm gonna do something super simple, and I'm just gonna go like this and like this. They're brads. They're holding two pieces of paper flower together. Ta-da, that's it. Look how adorable that is. Now this one's like, it has a little heart here, and then we put a little button on the bottom. You can do as much or as little as you like. Now, to add the little handle, a little bit of a trick, we used baling wire. And you want to get the ungalvanized. Is that right, Gib? Galvanized is aluminum looking, right? Yeah, yeah. So you want the I don't know if ungalvanized is a word. But anyway, you want it rusty. You don't want it shiny and looking new. Okay, so I have no idea how long this originally was. I'd say, you know, I don't know, probably about 10 to 12 inches long. And then it's kind of stiff and rough to work with, so I used a dowel and made just little curly cues here because I like those little curly cues. And just kind of freeform it, just like this. Maybe add an extra bend to make it look like that. And I think I want to get a really good bend right here, a little curly cue. So I'm going to add an extra one here. Smash it together. There we go. Oh, oh, this is so cute. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, so now I'm just going to, oops. Gotta wait till that dries. So now I'm just going to re-poke the holes, you know, where the holes were, right through the paper. Let's see, where's this one? Right here. Okay. Now I can add the baling wire. This is hard to work with, so I'm going to use some needle nose pliers here. There we go. Take a little curly cue there to hold that in, and voila! It's done. Done. Now, I can do a whole bunch of these and set them at each place setting on the table. I could put votive candles in there. I could hang them on the tree and put little goodies in there too. Love this idea. We'll call it the Terri O Holiday Tin Can Recycling Going Green Really Cute Project. Love it. Okay, you want to know more? I've got great projects online, by the way. Lots of holiday stuff. Just go to the website. That's onlinewithterrio.com.